you for joining me on Nuggets of Wisdom. I am Charles Musakanda. I truly appreciate you taking the time to grow, mature, as we edify one another on this journey of life, that we walk together in harmony, in love, and in one accord. Today's nugget is extracted from 1 John chapter 4, verse 20. I'm going to paraphrase and make it simple and quick. It says, none of us can love God if we don't love those whom we live with. We'd be telling a lie. Why? Because how can we love God whom we have not seen and yet hate those who we have seen and we live with? And writing on that verse, I will add on to say, how can people in the faith, in the family of faith, love people in the community when we can't stand the people that we call the love of our lives? Now, by saying that, I'm not only applying to people in relationships, although I would like to hinge on that for today, for this nugget. I will expand it to other groups of people as well. But let me start with those in relationships. Husbands and wives, fiancés, boyfriends and girlfriends. How can we truly love other people out there that we meet and greet with, be it at church, at work, in schools, in the community, when we can't stand the person that we said I do to when we were getting married? And those who are planning to say I do to that person that you're looking to get married to. And those who are boyfriends and girlfriends, and again, hoping to get to that I do to that person. How? How can we truly love strangers in our community and say and have this godly image and be these great people when we can't stand people that we said I love you to? The reason we have that problem is this. Oftentimes, we look at the other person and say, I want you to do this and this and this for me in order for me to be happy with you. And that's the beginning of our problems. That's the beginning of our failures. And I can prove that to you. We were made in the image of God, as we all know. And we find that when God created the world, He created it for us so that we can live in it. And when He created it for us, He said, multiply and have dominion, meaning you can have pleasure, enjoy it, take care of it, and make the best of it. And then when we messed it up, God sent Christ to die for us. Christ didn't die for Himself. Christ didn't die for people, for angels or for people in heaven or to die for God. Christ died for us, the people down here, human beings. And when Christ was leaving in John 14, He says, I go to prepare a place for you. He didn't go to prepare a place for Himself. He already has a place. He already had a place. He already came from a place when He came to die for us. So He went to prepare a place for us when He said, I go to prepare a place for you. Meaning that everything that God has done from the beginning of our lives, of our existence, He's done it for us. Created this world for us, died for us, went to prepare a place for us so that we can be with Him. Everything is about Him doing for us. And because we recognize that, we acknowledge it, accept it, and appreciate it, we in turn worship God. And we love God. And we live life in a godly manner, according to Jehovah's instructions, because He loved us first. Now, by saying that, I am saying, if you start to list things that you want done for you in order for you to be happy, you ought to remember that your partner also has the right to list things for you to do in order to make them happy? Are you willing to do those things? So how do we get about that? We get about that in the Christ-like model. Find out, investigate into, take the time to find the things that make your partner happy. Find the things that upset your partner and know what to and what not to do. The things they love and the things they disdain, so that you can make your partner comfortable. And your partner will always want to be with you, always want to do things for you and to make you happy in turn. Just like how we look to make God happy, how we look to live in a godly way, because God did for us and we're looking to make him happy. The same in any relationship. So if you cannot do that with someone whom you love, as your husband, as your wife, as your fiance, your boyfriend or girlfriend, then how really are you going to be able to do that truly for people out there, let alone for God? We're living a fake Christianity, fake faith, and worshiping a fake God. This Jesus that we profess to worship is not, that's not the right Jesus. That's the fake one. Because we cannot love him if we can't stand the person that we live with. And for those of you who are maybe relationships that didn't work out, you find that when you introspectively look into the reasons those relationships didn't work out, maybe you were playing your part, but the other party wasn't, and there was a disconnect. Or maybe there's some things that you can look into yourself and say, I could have improved on these things. But now maybe some of you are looking to get back into that game of love. May this nugget help you to learn and to mature, to grow, and realize that love is a two-way street. And you ought to give your 100% to pleasing that other person. And by God's grace, which is why we have to be prayerful and to be with people that truly understand, acknowledge, and believe in the faith that we have in the God that we worship, that person, if they have a good head over their shoulders, will do the same for you. So when you zone in on pleasing that person is going to want to be with you for life, forevermore, and happy with you, because you are their safe haven, sent from heaven for them. And you find yourself in the same position that they are your haven, sent from heaven for you. Let's do away with fake Christianity, with fake faith, fake God, and a fake Christ. Because we truly cannot love him if we don't love those whom we have seen. And it starts in the home. The best barometer to measure any spiritual element, any spiritual temperature, any spiritual atmosphere of any given congregation, be it Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, you name it, any faith. The best barometer is to see how many successful relationships are in that congregation. When you find that there are good relationships in there, where the ratio is in favor of successful relationships, then you know you're in the right congregation. You're in the right family of faith. But where there's constant breakdowns, squabbles and issues, people can't stand each other. Oh boy. Oh boy. It might be called a church, but I don't know whose church that is. May God help us as we grow together. Thank you so much for joining me on Nuggets of Wisdom. Please comment, ask questions. Please like, subscribe, and kindly share. These nuggets might benefit someone. that might improve someone's life, someone's growth, someone's situation, that might save a life. This is not word from Charles Musakanda. This is word that I extract from the script writer himself, the script writer of the scripture, as we call it, scripture, written by the scriptor himself. May God help us. Thank you for joining me on Nuggets of Wisdom, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.